Welcome to the e-learning portal of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. This is session 8 of the International Rail Transport module. The topic for session 8 is the safe transport of dangerous goods. At the end of this session, you should be able to define dangerous goods. That is the first objective. The second objective is to be able to recall the regulation on the transport of dangerous goods by rail under COTIF. 3. To identify the classes and divisions of dangerous goods. 4. To identify the 3 packing groups of dangerous goods. 5. To distinguish between identification and description of dangerous goods. 6. To appreciate the full responsibilities of a shipper of dangerous goods. And 7. To fully understand the responsibilities of the forwarder when they act as agent, and also when a forwarder acts as a carrier in the safe transport of dangerous goods by rail. 6 subtopics will be covered in this session, and they are as follows. Number 1, definition of dangerous goods. 2, the main classes and division of dangerous goods. 3, how are dangerous goods identified? 4, how are dangerous goods described? 5, what are the shipper's responsibilities? 6, forwarder's responsibilities as an agent and also as a carrier of dangerous goods in international rail transport. Let's begin with definition of dangerous goods. Goods can be defined as dangerous if they may lead to any of these 3. Damage to health and safety of persons or to properties. Damage to environment. Damage to the means of transport and to the other equipment employed or to other goods. I repeat, goods can be defined as dangerous if they may lead to damage to the health and safety of persons or to properties, damage to environment, damage to the means of transport and to the other equipment employed or to the other goods. That is a classic definition of dangerous goods. Now, the regulation on the transport of dangerous goods by rail under COTIF. It is RID. RID provides regulations on the transport of dangerous goods by rail. And we have covered this in the acronyms and terms at the beginning of the module. RID is the regulation under COTIF that defines substances and objects which are accepted for transport under certain conditions or which are completely excluded from transport by rail. I repeat, RID defines substances and objects which are accepted for transport under certain conditions or which are completely excluded from transport by rail. So that in short is the regulation under COTIF that covers the transport of dangerous goods by rail, and it is RID. Now, I would like to briefly take you through the shipper's responsibility, not the actual things, some of the actual things that shippers do. An overview of it is what I've learned here for you. The shipper is the key to the transport of dangerous goods. Shippers have the majority of responsibilities prior to the carriage of dangerous goods. In general, the shipper must properly recognize and identify that there are dangerous goods in their shipment, and subsequently they should provide clear information on the nature of the goods and classify them into one of the 9 classes of dangerous goods. A shipper has the responsibility to package the items and apply the applicable markings, labels, and placards appropriate for them. A shipper must complete the required documentations and ensure that all national and international regulations have been complied with, and ensure that shipment is made safe for transport. It is important that freight forwarders take note of all the responsibilities of shippers, not because it is theirs, but rather most shippers do not have the competency or capacity to deliver these responsibilities. So very often they delegate these responsibilities to freight forwarders to deliver on their behalf. And you can only do so if you know exactly what a shipper has to do. Besides what the shippers do, freight forwarders have their own responsibilities. When forwarders act as agents, their responsibilities are somewhat limited. The freight forwarder as an intermediary has, in general, the following main duties. The freight forwarder selects the safe way of transportation and the handling of goods. And the freight forwarder also advises the shipper on all implications and requirements of the transport of goods and verify, I repeat, verify that the shipper has followed the regulation. Your main job is to select the mode of transport and the handling of the goods, and your job is to advise the shipper on all implications of the requirements of transport of the goods, and also verify that the shipper has followed the regulations on the transport of dangerous goods. If a freight forwarder physically handles the shipment, they will assume more responsibilities. And these would include proper handling and storage, proper loading into wagons or loading units to transfer the items to the carrier, inspection of packages every time they are handled to ensure each package is intact for transport and handling. The freight forwarder would also assume the responsibility of reporting of any accident or incident and following emergency procedures in the event of an should the freight forwarder physically handle the shipment, then they will assume more responsibilities. And such responsibilities would include proper handling and storage, proper loading into wagons or loading units to transfer the items to the carrier, inspection of packages every time they are handled, to ensure each package is intact for transport and handling, the reporting of any incident or accident, and following emergency procedures in the event of an accident or an incident.